Hello there, and welcome back to my channel. I make quality content that I know I asked for. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to do my Marinette Dupain-Cheng makeup. This is the makeup I do every time I cosplay Marinette and Ladybug. Because you know why? Because they're the same person. So this is my go-to makeup, and you guys tend to love Marinette here on my social media pages. So I thought, why not show you guys how I do my cosplay makeup? So that's why it's today's video, is show you guys how to become Marinette Dupain-Cheng. So let's just dive right into the video. So, I start out in my egg form, of course, with my face nice and bare and my hair up in a wig cap. I also put on my blue contacts, even though I feel like Marinette should have dark eyes. I feel like they make her look more half Asian, but I'm also saying that as a person who's half Asian who has dark eyes from her mother. But yeah, I start out in my egg form and my face is nice and moisturized. I don't put primer on or anything because I feel like primer doesn't work, so I just stick with moisturizer. And after I put my contacts and moisturizer on, I start out with my eye makeup. So I always do my eye makeup before I do my face makeup because I find that if I mess up on my eyeshadow or my eyeliner, or if I have any fallout, I could just wipe it away with the makeup wipe, and if I could wipe away my problems, I would. For my eyeshadow, I like to use pinks for Marinette because honestly Marinette is a pink girly, but my eyeshadow I like to make it lean more towards a coral pink versus a like mauve or blush or a nude, just because I find that slight orange in the coral really makes my eyes pop out because orange and blue are complementary colors. So I grab that type of shade and I put that all over my crease, my lid, and basically everywhere because this is my main color. So I kind of just fluff that everywhere, and after I do that, I like to grab a slightly darker shade than the shade I use, but still doing in that coral family, and I really focus that on the outer corner as well in the crease to help some definition. And I like to use the ColourPop Sweet Talk palette for Marinette because I find that it's the perfect pinky coral colors, even though they just discontinued that palette right before I filmed this video because my luck just works out that way. So if you do Marinette, I highly recommend finding a palette that is more coral and pink versus a blush pink or a nude pink. So that's what I do for that. And then after I blend those colors together, I like to grab a color that's close to my skin tone but slightly more brighter, and I like to put that all over my lid and bring that also to the inner corner and up towards my eyebrows, just because I find doing that makes my eyes look much more bigger, and when you're doing a cartoon character, bigger your eyes the better in my opinion. So I put that all over my lid, and of course it's matte because I find it a little bit more natural, and I don't see Marinette as like a extreme like Instagram girly, you know, that's me on a daily basis. So I just fluff that everywhere and blend when I need to, and blend, and here is my eyeshadow. I know it's very simple, but no, for Marinette, I can see her as a simple makeup girly. So now I do my eyeliner, and this is why I do my eyeliner before I do my face makeup, because I always will mess up on my eyeliner. So if I mess up, I could just wipe it away. Especially right here on camera, you can see my struggle because my eyeliner I'm using here is dying, and so I couldn't get that perfect wing shape that I wanted. So it was a struggle. And I like to use two different type of eyeliners. I either use the NYX like liquid catsuit eyeliner, I forgot what it's called, or the Wet n Wild Breakup Proof. Those are my favorite. But you can see my struggle here. And then I just do a simple, just winged out eyeliner, but for my lid, I kind of make it nice and thick and a little bit more rounded because if I do it too cat eye, it makes my eyes look much more almond shaped, even though my eyes are almond shaped. Marinette eyes are much more rounder than mine. So here's my eyeliner. Not the best, but not the worst I've done. And I grab some mascara, and I just do a nice light coat of mascara so my eyelashes will be dark because they tend to get a little bit light after I put so much makeup on them. And after that, I will start my face routine. For my foundation, I like to apply it with a makeup brush because I find that I get the most even coverage that way. And I like to use the L'Oreal 24-Hour Infallible Foundation. That's my favorite, been using it for years. And then I just apply that all over my face like you're supposed to for foundation. And then I grab my makeup sponge and I like to tap over that just in case I have any brush strokes or anything like that. Get that more sponge-like finish. And then I add my concealer after I'm done with that because your girl has dark circles like a raccoon, because I'm actually a raccoon secretly, so don't tell anybody that. But yeah, I just kind of put that all over my under eye, my nose, and my forehead and my chin. That's where I put my concealer, and I tend to put more concealer on for my character makeup than I do my normal makeup because I find that concealer will also work as my highlighting So, and highlighting is very important for me when I do my character makeup because it helps, shape my face. So I apply that with a sponge and I kind of just make sure it's all blended in, and here's what my face is looking like so far. The next step of my makeup is doing the slightest bit of contouring slash bronzing. Now, I know that contour and bronzing are two different things, I know, but this is the way I do my own makeup. Contouring and bronzing almost the exact same thing, so I consider them 2-in-1. And in my early days of cosplaying Marinette, I didn't do any sort of bronzing or contouring because I feel like my face didn't need it, and sometimes I feel like when I put bronzer or contour on, it makes my face look a little bit more sharper, and I like to have my face a bit more round for Marinette, but I feel like my face changed when I got older, so now my face craves a little bit of that contouring and bronzing, especially now since I do so much filming for Marinette and stuff like that. I feel like with lighting and stuff, it does help if I have a little bit of bronzer or contouring on my face. So I do it now, and then I also bring that makeup all the way down my neck as well as under my jawline, just because it just needs a little help over there. And I always use my cream products first, because I feel like when you use cream and then you put powder over it, you can have this nice layered effects, and it also helps with longevity of your makeup, because I am an onion and we have layers. So when I'm not a raccoon, I am a onion. So after I'm done with the contouring and bronzing, because no 2-in-1, I move on to my cream blush part. For my blush, I like to put that all over my cheeks, mostly on the apples of my cheeks, and bring it outwards, just because I find that makes my face a little bit more softer and rounder. And for Marinette, that is the look that I want. Normally for my everyday makeup, I would put my blush more on my cheekbones and make it upwards to make my face more chiseled, but for Marinette, I like the more softer look to her, so that's what I do. And then I literally put that all over my cheek area, even bring it all the way up to my under eyes, just because when Marinette blushes, her blush tend to be under her eyes as well. So I do that. So I bring it up very high towards my eye, you could say. And when it comes to cream blush, I always tend to put more on than I normally would, because once you powder everything, those colors will become a little bit more saturated. So here's my face after I powder everything. You can see how toned down that blush becomes. And then after I do that, I start working on my powder part of my face. So all the products I used before this was my cream products, and now I'm moving on to my powder products, because we like to layer here on this channel, because we're all onions, and not just because we stink and make people cry. So I like to put bronzer over my nose bridge here, because I find that makes my nose look a little bit more softer, because my nose can be pretty defined sometimes, and I love my nose, but sometimes I want it to be nice and soft for Marinette, because Marinette's a soft girly. And I also like to put that under my chin as well, but mostly focusing the bronzer on my nose area, because I just want it to be a little bit more soft. And then once I'm done with that, I put some highlighter on. And for me, I like my highlighter to be, shiny, because, shinier the better for me, because I like to say I'm like Lightning McQueen. When I turn to the side of my face, I want to blind people and go, ka-chow! So I always make sure my highlighter is nice and shiny, and I like to put that on my cheekbones, my nose, above my eyebrow, and my chin area. And when I'm done with my highlighter, I like to grab my powder blush, and I like to use a more corally pink color to match my eyeshadow, because I like my Marinette makeup to be a more monochromatic look, and I put that all over my cheeks, basically where I put my cream blush. I will put my powder blush as well. So, and I also put that on my nose, on the very tip of my nose, because that also helps my nose look a little bit more rounder and cute and button shaped. So that is my face. Look how cute it is. That's how I do my face for Marinette, and now I do my least favorite part of my makeup routine, which is the eyebrows. I hate doing my eyebrows, but you know what? You just gotta do them. And so what I do for my eyebrows is I grab some clear brow gel, because I like using clear brow gel versus tinted, because there's something about a clear brow gel on my dark eyebrows. I feel like slightly lighten them a little bit. I could be crazy, but my friends who also have dark eyebrows like me realize that when they use a clear brow gel, it makes their eyebrows look a little bit lighter, which when you have naturally dark eyebrows like me, sometimes when you put like colorful eyeshadow over it, it just looks black in the end because your eyebrows are black. So I like to use a clear brow gel for that. And then to help shape my brows, I use eyeshadow first, and I just use a dark blue eyeshadow, the same color as my wig. And I try my best to do a nice outline for my eyebrow shape, because for me, the hardest part for eyebrows is I already have a naturally defined eyebrow shape, because again, I have naturally dark, thick eyebrows. And when I do like Marinette's makeup, I usually go the opposite of my eyebrow shape just because I like it to be more long and rounded out and thin, while my natural eyebrows tend to be thick and very squared and blocky. And for me, that just doesn't work for Marinette because it can translate as more masculine, and there's nothing wrong with more masculine makeup, but for me, for Marinette, I like to be as feminine as I can, so trying to find that perfect eyebrow shape could be very difficult for me. So sometimes you see my eyebrows are just naturally thicker than others, and it'll take me a long time to make sure I have the right eyebrow shape, and I always will go over my eyeshadow to make sure I have the perfect shape. So you see me grabbing my sponge and making sure I can make them as thin as possible, but not too thin because we're not in the early 2000s or the 90s. And then I just keep, layering on different blue eyeshadows to get that perfect color. And once I'm done with my eyeshadow, I hope I don't drop my palette. Here, I almost did. When I'm not dropping eyeshadow palettes on the floor, the next thing I do for my eyebrows is I grab some water activated eyeliners because I find that really helps define my eyebrows a little bit more to help with that shaping. And again, I had dark hair, so one thing I realized that using water activated eyeliner really helped the color of the eyebrows show, because sometimes eyeshadow is just not enough, especially when you have black eyebrow hairs like me, because unlike Marinette, I actually have dark black hair. As I have Asian, don't want to throw shade toward her design, but throwing shade. And once I'm done with my eyebrows, I move on to the last bits of my makeup, which is I add some highlight in my inner corner, just using the same highlighter I did on my cheekbones, and I also put that under my eyebrows, as well as putting more on my nose to make it look a bit more rounder, because I like to put it at the edge of my nose. And once I'm done with that, I grab some mascara and just do another second coat of that, but I'm really focusing my mascara on my bottom lashes, because I feel like when I have lower lashes defined, make my eyes look bigger. And again, that's the theme. I want my eyes to look bigger when I do more animated characters. So after I'm done with that, I move on to my lipstick, and I can use a liquid lipstick. And I prefer using liquid lipsticks versus normal lipsticks because normal lipsticks tend to transfer everywhere, especially on your teeth. And for me, I just can't have lipstick all over my teeth, so I always tend to stay more liquid even if they dry out my lips. And I like to use the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit in the shade Nudist Peach. Not only this is my go-to shade for Marinette, but this is also just my go-to shade for cosplay in general. I love this color, and it really helps fit in with that blush and the eyeshadow shade because, again, for Marinette, I like that more monochromatic look. So once I'm done with that, I move on to my eyelashes. And I love wearing false lashes when I do my character makeup. I find that it helps brings in the whole look and also make my eyes look bigger. So big fan of false lashes here. I always wear them when I have more feminine makeup. Besides Raven, I don't wear false lashes for her because I just don't see her as a false lash girly. But this is not about Raven, this is about Marinette. So when I'm Marinette, I love wearing false lashes, even though I don't really like the lashes I'm wearing here. But it is what it is. I like to have my lashes a little bit more bigger and fuller, but these are just the ones I had on hand, so these are the ones I had to deal with. And when I apply my eyelash glue, I always wait about 30 seconds. I find that's the best way for me, so I won't get eyelash glue all over my eyeballs, and they're easier to apply. So once I'm done with that, I wait for my eyelash glue to dry a little bit, so I like to wave my hands. That does absolutely nothing. And once my eyelash glue is dry enough, I like to go back over with my eyeliner and just put eyeliner over the lash band, because sometimes the eyelash glue doesn't dry all the way clear, and so adding that eyeliner over the lash band helps blend in the eyelash a little bit better, so it won't be so just put out there, because even though they're fake, you still want to make sure they look semi-natural, so I could put eyeliner over my eyelashes, and just like that, my Marinette makeup is done. Now I do some more makeup after I put on my wig, which I'm going to show you guys right here, but here is the base of my Marinette makeup. Now that I have my wig and costume on, I do the last bits of my transformation, as you could say, into Marinette. So the next thing I do is glue down my sideburns, because sideburns are very important for me when I wear wigs because I have a lot of hair, so adding those sideburns help hide it. So I like to glue them down to my face. So I usually use spirit gum when I do my sideburns because I help find that helps stick them better, but since I had to do a few Rex Ladybug videos that day, I like to use lash glue when I had to do a lot of costume changes. So while that's drying down, I just pin my wig to my head, and then once my lash glue is dried, or just my adhesive in general, I just glue down, put down, squish my sideburns to my face, as you could say. And I always make sure I smile, because sometimes I can apply my sideburns too low and they're a pop off. And now, don't get me wrong, I like popping off sometimes, but I don't like my sideburns doing that. So that's how I do that part. And now I'm moving on to the last bits of my Marinette makeup. So this last part of my makeup routine, I don't do it all the time because it just depends how my eyeliner comes out that day, but I do put eyeliner on my lower lash line because I find that helps make my eyes look a little bit more bigger and animated, but sometimes that eyeliner can come out a little harsh in my opinion. So one way I help soften that up is I grab some eyeshadow, the eyeshadow I've been using that day, and I kind of apply that to my lower lash line and really buff it out, because that really helps soften up that look. And when I do buff it out, I like to bring that eyeshadow all the way down to where my blushes, which is not that crazy because I do have a high blush placement when I do Marinette, so I like to connect that together like blush draping. And then once I'm done with that, all nice and blended, I basically finish my Marinette Dupain-Cheng makeup, and so this is the finished look. Today's video, you guys can finally see how I do my Marinette Dupain-Cheng makeup. People always ask for more makeup videos because they love how I do my makeup and they're always curious how I do it, so I'm glad I can start providing these type of videos for you guys. And I thought I'd do Marinette today because Marinette is a very popular cosplay / ladybug of mine across my social media, so I thought I'll show you how I do my Marinette makeup every time I cosplay her. Same with Ladybug. They're the same makeup because they're the same person. But yeah, I love my Marinette makeup. I love being Marinette, and I'm very happy I can have this video out for you guys. And until then, that's all for today's video. If you're curious about how I make my Marinette cosplay as well as my Ladybug cosplay, I do have videos on that on this channel, and so you can see the full transformation of me becoming these characters. So now you have the makeup and the cosplay. So let me know if you have any questions down below. Let me know if you're going to do anything that I did in this video, and if you do anything that I did in this video, please tag me. Until then, that's all for today's video. I have no idea what the next video is, but I still hope you watch it. And until then, bug out!